Harlow Ward snaking around, trying to irritate that air. Newgarden to the outside. Newgarden side by side has taken the lead in the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Joseph Newgarden with a strong run into turn number 3. Harlow Ward makes a run, but he will not catch it. Joseph Newgarden goes back to back.
Plug it. What's the name of it?
Across the Bricks.
Okay.
Nice.
On the Irish Connection Media Network. We're back. We're here. We're back. Finally.
It's been a couple weeks now. It's been a while.
We've been busy. We've been at the track. We've been at the track. We've been doing fun things. We've been watching Indy cars go around very fast from a very close distance.
In a really big circle, yeah.
Yeah, in a massive oval, if you will. But
It was a fun time.
we'll dive into that later. Justin, I want to start out today in a little bit even less of an IndyCar lens.
I see. What do we got?
I want to play a game with you.
Oh, God.
Something I found. Our good friend James Cocker on Instagram. This game is called Ferrari Team Principal or Pope Contender.
Oh no.
I thought in the light of the Catholic the Catholic life here, we need we gotta go Ferrari Team Principal or Catholic Pope Contender. You agree?
Oh, why not?
All right. Number 1, Pietro Parolin.
I mean,
Ferrari. He is currently a Pope Contender.
they're all gonna be identical to that. I heard Pietro. I'm like, oh, Fittipaldi, yeah. No.
All right. Next one. We've got Claudio Lombardi.
Lombardi sounds familiar, but not
Maybe because of the trophy.
Lombardi. We're gonna go Ferrari.
He is a Ferrari team principal from the 70s. Pierbattista Pizzaballa.
That's too Italian. I gotta go Pope there.
That is a Pope candidate. He is the second favorite in the Vegas odds for the Pope.
Why is Vegas betting
I
on
don't
the
know.
Pope?
I
That's
really don't know. We got Franco Gozzi.
Franco Gozzi. I mean, he could be a Pope. Yeah.
No, we got Ferrari team principal there.
Oh my gosh.
There were a lot in the 80s. We got another one, Eugenio Dragoni.
Dragoni sounds like drag, so I'm going to go drag racing Ferrari. Yeah.
Yeah, Ferrari team principal there. All right, Matteo Zuppi.
Matteo Zuppi. Yeah, he could be a Ferrari guy as well.
Nope, Pope.
Why are you just alternating? This is
All right.
this is annoying.
That didn't. Marco Piccinini.
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 You got to go a little more Italian, please.
Marco Piccinini.
Marco Piccinini. I mean, it's just a guess. I think he's probably going to be a Pope guy.
No. He's a Ferrari team principal from the 2000s. And lastly, Mario Grich.
I don't think you can be named Mario. He's a Pope. He's a Pope.
Yeah, give me the Pope. Yep, give me the Pope. Yep, that's a fun game.
It's actually
started
really
today.
hard to do.
It's I saw that on my feed last night, and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
All the names are basically the same.
Yeah, 100%. All right, now that we've gone through Ferrari team principal or Pope contender, hope you guys enjoyed that. We're gonna run. What do we got? What do we got on the agenda today, Jay Scott? We've got
Barber. We've got fantasy, and then I think probably finishing up Fight Club.
We got finishing up Fight Club. We'll talk about our internship a little bit, and yeah, I mean it'll be a good time. So we'll run right into our internship. Bet. So we were at the track all week, Justin. Talk about it. What did we do?
Well, if anybody from Fox is listening, we worked very hard all week
Unbelievably
long.
hard.
And you should let us come back.
And
But
pay us to come back.
If anybody who's not from Fox is listening, we didn't work very hard. We just got a chance to be very close to all the action of the open test, watch from on pit lane, really, kind of go around wherever we wanted. So what we're doing, we were just helping out with the Fox media shoots that they're doing running up to the 500. So we were just helping them, get things that they needed, but they didn't need us very much. So then we kind of got a chance to just walk around the paddock, go through the garages, see basically anything we wanted to see. It was a really great time.
We were running for them, so we would go and pick up lunch for everybody and things like that, kind of doing the basic work that the higher ups really don't want to do. But we were working 8 to 10 hour shifts, and we were really only working about an hour and a half of that. So the rest of the time, we had a pink wristband, and we're allowed to go on pit wall. We were allowed to go anywhere we wanted in that area around the track, and it was a blast.
Yeah, I mean, we just got so up close. Wade probably posted a lot of the pictures he got.
Yeah, if you do want to go check out, if you want to go check out our Instagram, there is a unbelievable amount of content on there because we had so much time. There was one morning we had to get there at 6 a.m., and it's a ghost town at 6 a.m., so we were just filming content everywhere and anywhere. I think I fell asleep on one of the benches up in the grandstands there. we had a great time. It was a really good time.
Yeah, I would do it again if somebody wants to let me do it.
And we got paid an undisclosed amount of money. That was way too much for what we were doing. So I'd recommend it. I think I'm going back in May. I hope you get to come as well. Should be an exquisite time, a great time.
Yeah,
I had an absolute blast. But along with that, Justin, we're moving into a race weekend, which is, they were testing for the 500 there, which both, it was the month of May, early in April, but it got us excited. But we all forget that, we got Barber coming up.
We got Barber,
which is a good track in itself.
Yeah, Barber's one of my probably top 5 tracks we go to, I would say. I mean, I'm not going to go through the whole top 5 right now, but it's a fun racetrack. Not everybody's a fan of it. I mean, yeah. But I think it's cool. I think that just kind of the layout of it. It's it's a cool course. It's hilly. It's got nice fast corners. It's kind of what Indy cars are meant to race on.
If you're unfamiliar, Barber was a course built to race motorcycles. So it is pretty narrow.
So the racing band is pretty small, but there's still enough room to get 3 cars wide.
Yeah. It really fits drivers' racing styles. For example, Scott McLaughlin, Scott Dixon, these are guys that love this track. Yeah. Hard corners, flowy guys. Rossi hates it. He hates this track. It's so non-traditional European. It's such an American track in a way of it. There's not a lot of, there's some chicanes really. I mean, there's one, but it's kind of not really a chicane.
They really just have the high speed, flowy, big corners.
Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of Road America. They're pretty similar tracks, and I love Road America too. So
yeah, definitely a lot more less straights and less time to sit.
Yeah, there's less straights.
It's Road America if you take away all the massive straights and connections between corners.
Which I guess you could argue maybe gives you less passing opportunities, but I think it's still a great track. And it's
Barber,
raced well
100%.
recently, so
it has. Definitely some blind corners as well that makes things interesting. There is something that's kind of race-related that I want to talk about. So this weekend, Polo is going to be sponsored by Honda Racing, literally HRC.
HRC is sponsoring the car,
which is really interesting to me because they're sponsoring him when they have a lot of Hondas. Is that not a controversial, conflicting sides there? Do you think anyone cares?
I don't think anybody cares. I think anybody who's driving a Honda realizes they're probably getting out-competed right now by Alex Palou. So I think they're willing to let him take that for a weekend. He's going to be back in whatever other livery for. I mean, is he going to be in DHL at 500? Is that
I think he's in DHL the rest of the year, yeah. Kirkwood's finally got a sponsor for the weekend with Prefab. Ericsson's back in the Bryant. I think when we saw at open testing that their cars were empty, I just think they don't have a 500 sponsor yet. And to be honest,
they're probably just waiting on
don't
bids.
Care about open testing enough.
Yeah.
They're just waiting on either bids or people to commit. But we saw some good looking cars at open tests. We saw some sponsorless cars. I think Stinger Rob's car, the USA car, looked really good.
There has to be one every year.
Yeah, I mean, it's Memorial Day. But Kyle Larson's car looked really good until he banged it up. It was awesome. Hey, man, I still can't. I can't believe we had that much access and we were that close.
Yeah, I'm glad we went.
Me as well. Connor Daly is a new sponsor for the weekend, continuing that Cyclone Next Gen, apparently. He's continuing his
the trend of switching liveries,
doors.
Yeah,
but hey, you know what? All good to Connor. He's getting money and doing it, so good on him. But it should be a good race this weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. We got practice starting tomorrow at 3:35 Eastern Standard Time down in Alabama, in the artwork racing capital of the world.
I have heard rumors that Georgina will be back this
Georgina
year.
should be hanging.
Georgina will be hanging from the bridge again.
I believe I've seen a picture of her IndyCar on Instagram and really on their social media. It creates like a poster for every race, and she was on it this year.
She's
so
got
the fact
it there,
that she's that famous and really a part of the vibe of Barber now is interesting. This is a track that fits Alex Palou really well. He's won there. He got his first IndyCar race win there.
I believe Joseph Newgarden also got his first win here.
That makes sense. Scott McLaughlin's won the last two, so he's racing for a three-peat, which with how that road course package for Penske looked at Thermal, not a good look.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorites is probably going to be Scotty Mack for this weekend. I don't know if it's going to be like Chevys all at the front or if it's just going to be Penske's at the front, but I think Scotty Mack is going to be up there for sure.
Oh, I think his driving style fits it so well, and just
it fits him so well. The car's looking good this year, so.
Yeah, I don't think Penske's definitely. I think they just had a rough start. I think they weren't. They rolled out the truck bad at Thermal. In terms of road course package.
Yeah, the road course didn't look good, but at open test they were definitely sandbagging.
I mean,
it's not too indicative of like the rest of it, but I think Penske's coming back.
But if you're looking at Penske, they're in the standings right now. They're 8th, 9th, 10th. McLaughlin, Power, Newgarden in that order, and they're all within like 10 points of each other, 11 points of each other, which is a terrible start to the year by their standards.
But I would be surprised if they stay down there. You're really going to leave Newgarden, McLaughlin, and Will Power not in the top 5 of the championship? I think one of them's got to get up there.
Yeah, agree.
And Scott McLaughlin didn't start well last year either.
Even McLaughlin is, he's 30-something points off of third place.
McLaughlin finished, second in the championship last year, and he basically didn't do the first 2 races?
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're not going to finish well.
I think he'll do really well at Barber. I think his season will start to turn around at Barber.
Yeah.
Like we've seen, they had some difficulty.
To put it into context,
kick it off.
Joseph Newgarden has 10 more championship points than Kiffin Simpson.
Yeah, that's
a good way to sum it up.
But we haven't really been to Joseph Newgarden's specialties yet.
No, not at all. We haven't been to an oval.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, we're gonna get the 500. I think genuinely the three-peat is the most likely option right now for 500 winners.
What does it mean for 500 history and the future of the 500 if that does happen? Does that let us know that, once one driver, the big thing about the 500 is no one's ever been able to figure it out. It's different every year. Are we in a point with the cars now where it started to become too repetitive, and once a driver and their team figured it out,
I think we could be to the point where it's getting figured out. Like you've had the car for years. I mean, they changed the weight balance this year with the hybrid.
Yeah,
but
which would be
the aero package is the same.
And that 2 cars just figured it out. And Newgarden's obviously one of the best oval drivers in the series right now. And yes, his wins haven't come without competition, but there's no one more experienced at the 500 really. I mean, Dixon's up there, but once you hit a certain level, I would say Newgarden and Dixon are the same experience level at the 500. They've done it enough times. They've done it a lot.
Right.
They've both won it. Dixon's fast, but I don't think he's in contention to win another one. At least as of right now, I think if you're looking at
I think of the Honda drivers, Below looks better than Dixon does right now. But
that and Kirkwood and Herta.
Yeah,
especially Kirkwood's had some good runs the past few years. Yeah. It had been a little scary.
But of what we were talking about with Barber, I think Penske won't stay where they are in the standings. Somebody's going to move up. It's probably going to start this weekend. Scott McLaughlin will at least get a podium here. I don't know if he'll win. Maybe Alex Palou runs away with it. He's good at racing. We just know that.
Yeah.
But Scott McLaughlin's really good at this track.
Yeah. You want to do predictions for the week?
Yeah, we can run predictions real quick.
I completely forgot about that until this moment.
I think I have Scotty Mack for the win. I think I'll say it.
Let's start with pole.
Okay, I mean for pole, that takes a little bit more thought, but my personal pole choice would probably be a Honda. I think it's going to be probably below on pole. I don't know.
You think?
I don't think he'll win, though.
I think for me, on pole, I'm going to go. You think it's going to be a Honda?
This guy brings up predictions and doesn't have any. Like,
No, I'm trying to decide. Because if it's Honda, I think I'm going to go Fro. But I think it's going to be a Chevy. So do I go Pato or McLaughlin?
I mean,
Screw it.
Pato's not a terrible
Give me
pick
Pato.
either.
Screw it. Give me Pato. All right. Top 3. Justin, what are you looking at?
Like I said, Scott McLaughlin is winning. I think Palou will probably get like a third. And then rounding out the podium, second place, I'm going to throw an Andretti guy in there. Let's go Marcus Ericsson. I don't know. That's random.
You think Ericsson? I mean, that'd be a big boost for him.
I just want it to happen, so I'm going to predict it. So if maybe it happens.
Manifest it. I'm also going to go, I think Scotty Max winning this. I think three-peat is inevitable. I think if Penske brings a good car like we see all the time, there's nothing that anyone can do to stop him. I think that we will see.
I don't think it's going to be all Penske up there.
No,
I think it's going to be Scott up there.
I think Scotty's going to be up there. I think Kirkwood's going to finish second. And I think Pato's going to finish third. I think Palou will finish.
I think he'll be top 5, but
I think Palou will finish fourth.
Yeah,
And
I'm not too comfortable with the pole pick there, but I just
it's fine.
if I pick somebody with 1 lap pace, maybe I throw Will Power just because he's
done
really
it
good at
all
poles.
this year. All right, who's your biggest mover? I definitely know mine.
I have no clue who my biggest mover is, so you got that first.
I'm going Graham Rahal.
That's actually a really good pick.
He's really good at Barber.
Yeah, he's got a couple podiums, doesn't he?
At Barber?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's finished second without a front wing one year.
Yeah. And he passed Dixon like final lap for a podium, or maybe it was P2.
Something. I don't know. Rahal's had a decent start to the year.
That's actually a really good pick,
and he's
Graham
really
Rahal.
good there.
I'm gonna go with like Santino.
That's who I was thinking. I think he could also be very good.
Yeah, he's a talented driver. We'll just see what happens. It's a guess, not a prediction.
We'll see. Yeah, I'll throw those up on the screen after I make that edit here soon. And this will not actually be up on Spotify until next week, just due to our available options. But it will be up on YouTube, hopefully Thursday or Friday.
Wait, that doesn't matter because they're going to listen to it, and then it's going to already be on YouTube when they listen to it.
So it'll be on YouTube. And if you're listening to it right after it came out on YouTube, I'm sorry, it's probably not on Spotify. But it'll come out at some point. And the website and wherever you choose to listen to your favorite IndyCar podcast. We're probably not your favorite IndyCar podcast. And if we are, I recommend you go check out Speed Street with Connor Daly or Off Track with Hinch and Rossi with James Hinchcliffe and Alexander Rossi and our favorite Tim Durham.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand that, go listen.
Yeah,
it's a great podcast.
Great podcast. If you like this one, your standards are a little low.
Yeah. Justin, we were talking about this before. Rossi talked about on his podcast how he basically said the new car sucks compared to old cars.
That's no secret that Alexander Rossi doesn't like the cars. I think he is the most honest of the drivers. And he will speak out when he doesn't like something, and he is speaking out.
He has become, because originally he had Aaron McLaren breathing down his neck and stuff, but now that he's at Ed Carpenter, Ed does not care what he says or what he does. Yeah. And so as long as he doesn't talk bad about the team or his sponsor, Ed doesn't care. So Rossi's going to talk about whatever he wants.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to remove him from the series for saying they need a new car. Like, they're working on the new car, and I really hope it comes soon because I'm just excited to see it. But yeah, the drivers, I think, are not fans of the current package that we have.
I think a lot of the drivers understand why we needed the hybrid.
Right.
Excuse me.
It's for the visuals of the sport. You gotta be moving forward with technology as it goes, but we haven't seen it affect the racing too much.
I think a lot of the drivers just don't understand the implications of it on racing. Because we haven't been to a lot of tracks with it yet. specifically the 500. This is something Hinch was talking about on the podcast as well as they were debating of when do you use the spurt, because you can charge your hybrid on pit lanes. You have 100% going in, and they're basically like, we doubt anybody recharges it during their run, but do you go,
do you hit it out of like turn 2 and turn 4 when your speed is lowest?
They were talking about either doing it out of 4 on lap 3, because that's traditionally when your tires are going down, or you can change it so you can
do
hit
a
it for
quarter
25%, 25%, something like that. And he said that's something that he doesn't think is going to have, Hinch doesn't think is going to have a huge difference on qualifying, but it's definitely something to mess with and something you might see on that last day when you're bumping in. Someone's just trying to figure out which one to go. And from what I've heard, there's 2 settings. I was reading this on Racer yesterday. Probably Marshall Pruitt. Can't confirm because I lost the article, but probably Marshall Pruitt. Between those, you have 2 deployment options, all at once or the staggered. And you have to choose that before qualifying.
Why did they
I don't
make
know.
you choose it before? That seems like you should be able to change it mid-run if you want to.
But it's just a
I don't
switch.
like that.
But after at qualifying or on Racer, I was looking in the comments after, and it was very unclear and confusing of when you had to pick that. If you chose it for qualifying, does it have to be that way for the race as well? Also, if you spurt it, why can't you just hold down the button for the entire 100%? Like, why can't you do it like that?
I think whatever that's talking about is really weird.
Yeah, I can find it.
They let you adjust so much mid-go. Like, you're using the weight jack. Or, like, in any other race, you can change the brake bias mid-lap if you want to. Like, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be able to choose how much hybrid you use.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense to me either.
I'm assuming it might just be a switch that's kind of difficult for the driver to reach while going 200 plus miles an hour, so they don't want them changing it. That'd be my best guess at it, but I didn't read it. You read it.
Okay, so it is written by Marshall Pruitt because, why wouldn't it be? All right. Under a new allowance from IndyCar, teams were given the option to continue using the full power development solution, which is 100%, all use at once, they're familiar with, or a new twist at the Speedway to select a smaller but sustained hit of power, the 25% each lap, as an example. A short burst of maximum hybrid boost or a longer contribution of lesser helping of horsepower. Which one was better?
Okay, well, I think I'm gathering what you're saying now.
Yeah, here, let me keep going. Teams who tried both aren't telling, but it's bound to be an area of greater exploration. For example, Alex Palou tried to go do 3 qualifying sims and was impeded on the second or third lap every time. So no one really figured everything out. But the quote here from, it says Simmons. I got to go back and find who Simmons is. An IndyCar professional of some sort with the last name Simmons says you have to pick your power level and then stick with it. Whatever that lower power level is, you can't switch back to full power if you don't like it. So there's a lot to try and a lot for teams to decide what they think is the best approach to take.
So that makes me think it's probably on the team side, not on like the steering wheel somewhere where you can change it. So
yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure it's like how strong the hybrid is. Let's say if you choose the first option where it's like 100% all at once, it's going to do max power. It's going to do whatever, 1,000 plus horsepower, whatever they're saying.
By the way, that was Chris
But I
Simmons.
think it's going to be a smaller horsepower boost, but it'll last for a longer time. So you can maybe have it going for like half the straight if you want to, but it's not going to give you as much of a boost.
Okay,
I think that's what it's talking about.
So you can either do a long boost of less horsepower or one quick spurt of 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, basically. And I think you still have the discretion of how long you want to deploy it for.
Yeah.
But it's just
I may
the
have
amount of
misunderstood.
power that they get out there, I think, can be varied now.
And that was all coming from Chip Ganassi Racing Director Chris Simmons, by the way.
I think that's good to see that the teams have more discretion. It'll make it kind of
Just another
competitive
factor.
for pole. I like it.
It's another factor of, Palou could have a pole-winning car, but he decides to go full deployment instead of that long
duration, low power. Maybe that's the way to go. I don't know.
And no one knows. That's something I have to find out during practice, which is interesting because as we just talked about, it's really hard to get qualifying sim during practice, especially with 34
there's
cars.
always traffic. There's always a tow. There's something going on.
So it's going to be hard for teams to figure out until, qualifying's a 2-day affair, Saturday, Sunday. It'll be things that teams we might see teams going out for a second run on Saturday or is that how that works? Right? Yeah, to bump your way in and not have to go to the bump.
Yeah,
just
to
to
not
figure
go to
out
bump
just to
day.
figure out which one works for pole. Like we might see Pelot be 6th and he'll be safe, but he might go back out and not risk his time just to see if it's faster with the button or not.
Yeah, I think Fast Friday is going to be really big this year.
Huge.
There's a whole nother factor that we haven't explored before. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, teams have figured out the rest of it. Like, you know what you want the wing to look like and how you want the handling of the car to be. But the hybrid is something new, so at least they'll have something really to experiment with on Fast Friday.
100%. I'm ecstatic. We're moving into the month of May. It's May 1st right now as we're recording this, and man, 500 is coming.
Yeah,
I
we're
woke up
almost
this
there.
morning. I think I was telling you about this a few months ago when we were sitting at lunch. Every day of the year, there's one morning where I walk out and it just feels like it's 500 race day for the first time, right? You walk out, humid in the air. It's like mid-60s probably. I don't know how else to explain it. You just walk out of your garage in the morning, get to go to your car, and it just feels like you're going to the race. Today was that day for me.
Yeah.
And I got
And it's always
so
a great
excited.
day.
I was so excited. It's a great day. I have a countdown on my phone to the exact time the race starts. So we're going, where is it? We're going 24 days exactly because the race starts at 12 and we're nearing 12. So it only goes, days and hours. But 24 days exactly from this moment when the green flag will drop. 24 days and 40 minutes. And we'll know who will be the, what are we at, 108th? 108th
Sure.
running of the Indianapolis 500? Yeah. No, 109th.
So
Because 2016 was 100 years.
here's what I want to ask you about the hybrid real quick.
Mm-hmm.
In years past, the best way to get it to overtake somebody is to get a good draft going down one of the straights and then go around them on the corner. But if you have the hybrid, you have a little bit of extra power.
If you reach
Can you does this mean we're going to see more passes because you can draft and you can use the hybrid to get around somebody at the 500? Like, is this going to be a
No.
more overtake heavy race? Do you
No.
think the car handling, like with the extra weight, they're not going to be able to follow each other in dirty air as well?
No, I don't think. I think it's going to be the exact same.
You think it's going to be the same?
I think because everyone's heavier, so it's all going to be the same.
Right. I mean,
And then on top of that, you can use the hybrid whenever you want. So it's the same thing as push press. You can use it to defend. And during the race, almost everyone lifts into the corner, saving fuel, right? So you are going, and when you use the hybrid, you're not losing any fuel. It's all electricity and horsepower. So or at least I don't think so.
tires you're losing maybe, but
Yeah,
if
but-
you're using it on a straight, it doesn't really hit the tires too hard.
So if you see someone behind you coming up on you, you're going to hit the hybrid. Because everyone's going to lift in the corner and regen it.
Right, but if you see somebody coming up on you with the draft, you try to break the draft too. Like,
You break the draft and push the hybrid, so you're gaining extra speed and breaking the draft.
right, but I'm just saying there's options to defend normally.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
are we
yeah,
going to
yeah.
see the extra attacking, seeing more overtaking? Like, you think no? I mean,
I think it'll
that's a
cancel
fair
each-
point.
I think
too.
it'll cancel each other out. And
If everybody has a hybrid,
if I've heard anything from a lot of the drivers talk, it really doesn't do much. It's kind of just a media stunt with a little bit of help. Now, the 500 is filled with things that are just a little bit of help wins you the race.
yeah, I mean,
So maybe.
the weight jacker is an example.
Exactly. Like that typically wouldn't do.
I think that's maybe a quarter mile an hour difference, but
people do it.
you do it every lap because you know it's giving you speed.
Yeah. So I think this definitely could be something, and something we've talked about on the podcast before. You can set it to, I don't know how many settings it is, but a certain amount of settings of different regen settings. Of I want it to regen really fast and I lose more speed. I want it to slowly regen. So maybe people finding the right setting for that, and the perfect one to be able to have enough to press the button when needed. It's going to give this push to pass factor at a smaller scale on ovals, which is something that we've never seen before. So I think it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, somebody I want to see experimenting is definitely Colton Herta. If he qualifies poorly again, I think that team's going to figure out how to use the hybrid to get around people. He's going to have it running like full regen or something, and somebody's just going to tear through the field if we get somebody qualified real far back.
On top of that, it's a Honda Chevy thing. The Hondas might be better at regenning, or one Honda hybrid or Chevy hybrid might be better at deploying, and that could be huge.
We sort of mentioned this earlier, but I think at least the Chevys are kind of sandbagging, but the Hondas were
They were even,
unstoppable the first day of open test was all Honda. The second day was like 3
terms
Hondas,
of,
1
pole-
Chevy.
During the pole practice, the bump speed practice, it was 6 Hondas, 4 Chevys
Now,
in the top 10.
there's no way everybody's,
There's some sandbagging going on.
Th-
I think
they're
they
not
can go
all,
faster than 232.5 or whatever it was that Below did.
I mean, that's debatable. I don't know how much the extra weight's affecting it, but
No
we haven't
no
seen
one
everything
knows.
yet. We haven't seen everything yet, and I
Also,
think
they still got a whole month to tune their cars.
they do have a lot of time ahead of them to get it into the race. But if the open test can be trusted, which is maybe not true, maybe we can't trust the results, it might be a Honda race.
Maybe. We can speculate about it all we want. We just gotta wait and see.
Just gotta wait.
I hate waiting.
I think 23 more days.
All right, let's move in and talk about our fantasy. All right, Justin. I know we kind of skimmed over it last week, but in terms of recap, but what do you got rolling this week? Or I can go first if you'd like for Barber.
I can go first. Here's the thing.
for it.
I don't think my team changed very much. I'll run through it, but I think it might be identical to last
Just
week.
give me your list of drivers.
So I've still got Pelot, I've got Pato, Kirkwood, Erickson, Armstrong, and Ilott. I think Pato is good there. Pelot's good there. And obviously in my predictions I said Erickson, so it doesn't look terrible, but I don't know. I was
Yeah.
thinking not setting myself up to have Scotty this week.
I kind of dumped Barber down the drain in terms of my fantasy team. In terms of where I was
I think everybody's prepared for the month of May with fantasy.
I was dropping people like Pelot I don't have this week, so I can have him for the month of May. I've got Newgarden on one more race for Barber here, so I can take him off on the GP and get him back for the 500. I've signed Pato for 3 races, so I do have my he will be in the 500 with me. Pato will be, which I think I'm confident in that pick. I've got Herta for 2, so I'm taking him off at the 500, but I'm gonna have him here at the GP and at Barber. You got Armstrong for 2 more, VK for 1 more, and Rasmussen for 2 more. I think your team's definitely stronger than mine. I got a few weak links on mine, but I've got $8 million left in the bank because I had so much money and stuff left that I didn't know what to do with it. And I didn't want to cancel one of my lower drivers' contracts. Although the release fee is only like $200,000, but I didn't.
It's like 10% of the contracts for the cheap guys. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to pay it. I'm just gonna leave VK, Rasmussen, and Armstrong, kind of sacrifice Barber, and then really head strong with a really good team in the month of May.
Yeah, that's where I think your team might be better. I think at the beginning of the year, I think I counted Pelot out for the 500. I said if he wins, whatever, I'll look stupid, but I want him for the rest of the races. I'm not going to take him off for the GP.
Yeah.
And so far, it's been the right decision to keep him on the team. But at the 500, I might be.
You might get hosed.
I might get hosed by not having him. But your team sounds like you've set it up pretty well for 500.
Yeah, this is definitely a setup week. I do not expect my team to do well this week, but if I don't know about like double points for grid rivals. I haven't heard anything about that.
I don't think they're doing that.
I don't think so either. I do think you get points for qualifying though.
Is Grid Rival doing that?
I think so. I hope so.
We can look through the rounds really quickly.
Can we? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, you can click on race results and then look at future races as well, I think.
Let me check.
It shows you past races.
Yeah. Dang. Well, we'll see. I hope so. But hey, if I have a good month of May, I can hop back in this thing. I'm currently in 5th.
Yeah.
Justin, you're
Every
still
weekend
like
matters here.
You're still like top 11 in Hinchtown's league, so you're whooping me. Your team's really good. All right.
For the time being.
Well, no, we'll just go to Fight Club here. We had a shocker last week. Not really. The one we put up to vote was Newgarden and Santino. Newgarden won 75% to 25% there. I don't know the exact vote count, but that's big enough of a difference for
I
me.
wouldn't call it a shocker, but
No, not really. I think it was definitely a good vote. But heading in the month of May, we're down to our Elite 8.
all right. Who is it today?
We've got two. We've got two matchups.
2 matchups today.
The first one's a really weird matchup. We've got Colton Herta and Elio Castroneves.
Yeah, that is a really weird matchup. How did this end up on the Elite 8.
I don't know.
Do you have strong opinions about this? I think this
No.
is very unlikely to happen.
With both of them, yeah. Elio's too nice and Colton's too well-tempered. I think Colton wins this one
I
because of
think
the age factor.
He's just a younger guy, but
He's got the stamina, but I wouldn't count Elio out.
how did we let this one get all the way to the Elite 8?
Herta beat Rasmussen and Rahal,
Okay, never
and
mind.
Elio beat Siegel and Marco.
What? That bracket was so weak.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think Colton Herta there.
Yeah. All right, and then the next one we'll put up to our vote. It is the good old Scott McLaughlin versus Pato Award.
Wow, yeah.
I
don't know who I would take, but yeah,
I don't know either.
put that one on the vote.
I think I would take Pato, but I don't know. I can see Scotty. I mean, he's New Zealand? Kiwi?
Yeah, he's a Kiwi.
He's got some fight. He's got some poisonous snakes and kangaroos and stuff down there.
New Zealand's not a place I would want to live.
No. It's a dangerous
It's a rough
place.
life out there, but
Although
yeah, that could be a
seem to
good
love
fight.
it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll put that one up to a vote on our Instagram. Please go check that out. I'll put it up as soon as I get this YouTube video posted. And thanks for listening. Thanks for caring about us.
Thanks for sticking with us through 11 all right episodes.
We're gonna keep this going for the next few weeks till the end of the school year, and then I hope we can figure out a way to do this from home.
There is a chance, yes.
But I've been having a blast doing this. It's got some pretty cool opportunities so far, and we'll still keep trying to cover IndyCar for you guys as long as we can. And I hope to keep this going at IU.
Yeah.
But thanks guys for
Thanks for listening. Thanks for
thanks.
the 10 of you that vote each week. You guys are the best.
Yeah, you are our favorite 10. I know only about 3 of you actually listen, but you are our favorite 10. we appreciate you more than you know, because otherwise
And
this
you,
segment,
Dad, because you don't have Instagram.
Yeah. My dad has Instagram but doesn't use it. But thanks, Mom. Mom, you.
Thanks, Mom, for voting.
Yeah, you do vote, Mom. I appreciate you. This segment would suck if we didn't have those 10 people. So I appreciate you guys a lot. Thanks for listening to, I think, episode 11, and if it's
Probably
not, that's
11.
awkward. Enjoy Barber this weekend and the GP as we move into the month of May. I'm excited.
See you next time.
See you whenever we feel like doing this again. Bye.